So good evening everybody. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about how to make Puerto Rican coquito. And I'm also going to talk about some important points about it past. So as a Puerto Rican, even living out of my precious island, I still carry my culture with me wherever I go. So it was this past Christmas when I was craving for coquito and I didn't know how to do it. So the first thing that crossed my mind was calling my grandmother to ask for the family recipe. So studies have shown that people carry their culinary customs when they travel, when they move out. They still find all the ingredients that they need to still cook the same way that they use on their country or island. Okay, even a survey of Puerto Rico markets in Connecticut find that 80% of the crops were still present between Puerto Rican families after 16 years. You know what is that? After 16 years, that is like a very long amount of time, and we still cook and carry our customs with us. Of course, el coquito is not the exception. We are going to still carry coquito wherever we go, New York, Florida, it doesn't matter. Okay? Also, when I call my grandmother, she says that, laughing, that it will not be a Puerto Rican home if we don't have coquito on it. So, of course, the next day or whatever, I prepare my recipe and everything, and I was enjoying the coquito. So coquito is so famous that here in Orlando, Florida, they have celebrated the first coquito master competition that actually was won by a Puerto Rican named Orlando Roman. Orlando Roman was the winner, and he said on the interview that he relied on his Puerto Rican family members for an expert advice. They say that some Puerto Ricans says that coquito has his name for the tiny frog of the island, el coqui. But other Puerto Ricans, and this is the part that I know, is that they carry the coquito name out of the coconut flavor. So it will just depend on which part of the island you are, what will be your beliefs. Still is the same coquito. Coquito has been adjusted through time to many flavors. That includes strawberry, pistachio, chocolate. It doesn't matter, it will just be the preference. My preference is the original one without egg. Coquito is also known in the United States as the Puerto Rican eggnog because most Puerto Ricans like to put alcohol in it, but my family recipe is without alcohol. We look at it as a dessert drink, and that is the version that we are going to be presenting today. Also, Puerto Rican try to conserve this tradition of coquito, and it's so important to us that even an actor named Clary Diaz, she's a New Yorker, that is the term that we use to refer to a Puerto Rican person living in New York. He showed on her book, Cooking and Telling Stories, an actual picture that she took in 1981 that she was writing on a calendar the coquito recipe that her mother was dictating her on the phone from Puerto Rico. So that will show you the importance of our recipe and our customs. We really rely on our family members living in Puerto Rico to conserve our traditions, and it really doesn't matter where we travel, we are always going to be Puerto Rican celebrating Christmas with coquito. Okay, so now I'm going to talk to you about how to make coquito. Coquito is very sweet. That is the first point that I'm going to go ahead and mention. It's a very sweet drink that you will drink as a dessert. So here are the ingredients you're going to use. So you have coconut cream, you have evaporated milk, you have condensed milk, you have vanilla extract, and you have cinnamon, and you also use vanilla ice cream. Okay, so you will need a blender, of course, and also you will need something like this, a bottle like this, so you can go ahead and save the coquito after you are done preparing it. So the first step that you're going to be doing is you're going to put the coconut cream and the evaporated milk and the condensed milk all in the blender. After you finish doing that, you will add vanilla ice cream, and then you will add the vanilla extract and the cinnamon on the blender also, and like blend it all together. After you done that, you just put it all together in the bottle and put it on the refrigerator until it is cold enough to drink. An important point to stick out is that you have to be careful with the vanilla and the cinnamon, because in this case, less it will be better. Okay? And the vanilla ice cream, it will just depend on your preference of how sweet do you want. Okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of coquito so you can go ahead and taste it. And it is important for you to remember that it doesn't matter where you travel, where you go, you still carry your customs with you, as we Puerto Ricans do with coquito. It doesn't matter where the name comes from or everything, we all have our own characteristic from it. Okay, thank you very much for your attention.